taken on many challenges in your life. Where do you find your confidence from?
When I have confidence, I find it largely through evidence that I build through action. That's actually something that's been top of mind and top of discussion with my wife and I. But a lot of my true, like unwavering confidence comes from my own belief and sort of proof that I've done the thing or I understand the thing, I've played with whatever it is in question enough to really feel confident, rooted in understanding like, no, this is the truth and whatever someone says about it is not going to make me waver. It's a very interesting question because now obviously as I'm explaining it, I'm thinking of different forms of confidence. And I don't have an answer beyond that quite yet for other forms, but I will tell you what's coming to mind, like confidence in the way that I look or confidence in the way that I parent. Those are slightly different because I don't necessarily have evidence or proof around those. Probably evidence and proof that I'm doing the things that I think I should be doing or giving it my best effort or putting forth attention where I believe attention is needed. So yeah, maybe that is the answer.
So that you're giving things the attention that they deserve and putting in the action to get the outcome that you want?
Yeah.
How do you measure that?
It's not objective. I'm not very confident in my answering of this question.
That's okay.
It's not objective. It's definitely a subjective thing. I don't think it should be objective. That's probably taking things way too far. And I already live kind of biased in analytics and objectivity. But I think it's just a feel. It's just a gut feel thing, right? Like you kind of know your confidence around a thing when you start to talk about it with other people, because naturally people will ask you questions that expose gaps or weaknesses or the level of confidence that you have or don't have, just naturally, right? Someone will say something and it'll feel like, oh, why did that sting? My confidence is not as high as I want it to be. That's what's coming to mind for me now.
Yeah. How do you track that like internal mechanism of, ooh, that didn't feel good, or ooh, not necessarily feel good, or like maybe I'm not as confident at this as I thought I was? How do you track that?
I don't try to track it.
Okay.
But it will track naturally when I get those stings.
Yeah.
If somebody says something about a thing, right? I keep using the word thing, but we don't have anything that we're anchoring it towards just yet. I will subconsciously track, quote unquote, whatever it is based on those because I really don't like those moments, the exposure moments.
What would you say, what arena of your life would you say you're most confident in?
The first thing always was just like a knee-jerk fitness. It's the thing I'm most confident in. That probably has to be the real answer. That's where I'm most confident.
Where does that confidence come from?
Daily action.
Yeah.
Who I believe I am at like a deep core level. Yeah, there's so few days that I've not been deeply steeped in the game of fitness.
So when did fitness first show up in your life?
A lack of fitness first showed up in my life when I was young. We kind of discussed this a little bit in previous chats, but a lack of power is really kind of the precursor to me diving deep into what I call fitness. And that came from, just a childhood of not being able to speak my truth or stand up for myself or really feel like I had support in any kind of way with regards to my stepdad. I grew up with a stepdad since I was like 3 years old, someone I did not get along with, somebody that most of the world would not get along with. I'm confident in that answer. And And then micro exposures of just like, oh, wow, actually, this touches on exactly what you had just previously asked me about tracking the lack of confidence in something. A lot of those exposure moments of, oh, wow, I really suck at this. I don't have confidence in this. I'm not good at this. Um, I've had probably hundreds of micro exposures to that with regards to fitness, but 4, 5, or 6 that like really hit home and shaped who I decided I was going to be. And that wasn't a decision in one moment, right? That just was upon reflection. I've made the choice that, I am a fit person. I am a fitness fiend. It's not going away. I live and breathe it.
Yeah. When did you make that choice?
I definitely stepped into that choice around high school, sophomore year. Um, like most people, it's probably bred from like an aesthetic bias where the sting was around the lack of aesthetics that I had or thought that I should have had. And, chicken or the egg, you have a filter on that and you're looking for confirmation bias. And so anything anyone says is, is digested through the filter of this ain't good enough. And I joined the cross country team and just, tried to get shredded, which is hilarious thinking about that time. And poor Gunther with the skill set that he did not have, the things he was doing. The work was there. The confidence in my efforts was definitely there. It wasn't good work. Well, in some ways it was.
So you mentioned there like the filter of this ain't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from?
Good question. Again, micro exposures to the sting, that emotional sting of, this was not accepted by others. Therefore, this was not good enough. I'll just run with it because it's the first thing that's coming to mind. In middle school, we had this assignment to create a catapult. We had to like actually build one. And in classic Gunther fashion, I rebelled homework. I never did homework. I passed everything because I paid attention, did well on tests, got A's when it came to like what we were doing in school, and just straight up got zeros on every assignment outside of school. And this catapult thing, I kind of scrambled together last second and put together something pretty C or D level, probably D level. And my teacher essentially was like, I'm not going to even accept this. She lovingly, and not in these words, we can swear on this podcast, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
She basically said, fuck you, you're better than this. I'm not even going to let you turn this in.
Wow.
Do it again.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was engulfed in the sting, the emotional sting. And it was sort of like okay, fuck you, watch me. And I built the sickest trebuchet the world has ever seen. It worked perfectly. I went one step above and beyond, was like, catapults are this. I'm going to differentiate. I'm going to make you a trebuchet. And I'm going to explain why I'm making this instead. Yeah. It had like a rope on it and I was super proud of it. But I bring this up because it was a good, it's the memory that's coming up when you ask me like, where did this come from? It's not good enough. And in true Ryan fashion, you're holding the space for me to coach myself. This is like therapy. Thank you.
Just asking questions, man.
It's so good. I think there's a stupid gap there, which is more about what I knew I was capable of and what I was doing. And yeah, I think the first piece of awareness is usually external, right? It's like, F that teacher for telling me that's not good enough. And then the deeper layer of awareness is what's the internal gap or dissonance between your knowing your truth, whatever you want to call it, what you know you're capable of, what you know you should have done, what you wanted to have done, and then what you actually did. Yeah, this is actually quite powerful. Thank you for letting me chat this out.
Of course, man.